Hey guys, this is Manshark Sub LPs. I'm Sub, this is Crusader Kings II, and this is Millennia in the Making episode 37. I'm pretty sure it's 37 anyway. Just check that. Yeah, 37. We're playing as King Ulrich of Bavaria, Pomerania, and Bohemia. He's the son of King Ludolf, who himself was the son of King Otto, who was our original character. We're currently at war in a ridiculously one-sided event, the West Francian Ducal War for Duke Guillem's claim on Poitiers, which is a single count against 4 kings. But it was very handy because it let us get Bamberg off the East Francian. At the moment, however, we're looking to expand our personal domains just a little bit, just so that when it comes down to it, we'll be able to give our son, Prince Ludolf here, a fief of his own. That's fief with 2 F's, not with a TH at the front. So, we're just going to move these guys into Leitmeritz, and Leitmeritz it is now, and send them down into Praha when when they're in position for that war. And ideally we won't have to raise any troops, but we might have to. That being said, Poland is currently in 3 wars of its own. It's defending against this host that you can see it fighting here. It's defending against the High Chief of Sorbs, which is this place here, in his subjugation of Poland, which is hilarious to me. And he's attacking Bragi of Oland, but he's an ally in that war. So, let's get on with it, you filthy heathen. It's a de jure claim on Praha. We could call him the West Francian, and he would probably join in, but I don't want to because I've won this. I can say that with a fair amount of confidence. I am recording this straight after the last episode because when you're on a roll, why not, sort of thing. And it's really tough to play this game for just 1 hour a day. I've got to be completely honest about that. Hell, a lot of the time I, finish playing and then start up Europa Universalis on my laptop. Holding in Teschen is under siege, but it's not really because they're moving now. That's fine. They can all deal with their own little issues, I don't care. These sieges should go fairly swiftly because they don't have much troops. Much in the way of troops anyway. And just looking up here, the Sorbians. I hope the Sorbians win. Because what I think the subjugation of Poland means, because pagans can subjugate each other, but what I believe that might mean is that he's going to get Poland as Sorbs. So I hope he wins, because at the moment he's a shitty little one-province Slavic country. If he does win, then we'll be able to take the entirety of the Duchy of Poland in one swoop. And, the rest of them if we come down to it. So yeah, I hope he wins. Also because when we win this war, we'll have a truce with this guy. And, well, if we have a truce with this guy, we can't declare war on Poland. But if the Sorbian wins, well, we can declare war on Poland because we won't have a truce with this guy. Anyway, we're kind of monitoring these armies. Not because, it says that there are 5,000 of them, but that's because Marienburg's army is in there as well. And we shouldn't be too worried about Marienburg's army, I believe. I'm not quite sure about that, but, whatever. We're worried about the Polish army. I am now known as the Great, much like my father before me. The Great is probably the easiest one of these titles to get. From now on, as long as our rulers live a particular amount of time, we should pretty much have everybody be the Great. Okay, so he's moving into Upland. I'm just going to raise my personal troops here. Now, we've also raised non-personal troops, which is the liege levy of Bishop whatever, and the liege levy of Mayor whatever. We're just going to put them into this flank. Actually, no, we're going to create new unit, send them over, and then dismiss that unit immediately. Because we don't need them. And then we're going to send these 2,500 guys up to Praha to help us out. That'll also speed the siege along, even if we don't get attacked. So that's a good thing. Because he is moving towards Upland. And then Boleslav. So yes, he is actually moving into an attacking position. He'll get there on the 1st of September. We might be in a very good position by that time. We'll just have to see. Come on. Okay, so on the 31st of September we get to Dommersleach. We're probably going to get into Praha before he does. Which may stop him attacking. Or, you know, he may still attack. So he's going to get into Praha on the 12th. I'll get there on the 16th. So it's a reinforce maneuver. And while it looks like we're reinforcing over a river, well, to begin with, we're not, because Praha's only river connection is over the Elbe to Pilsen. But even if we were in Pilsen and reinforcing, we wouldn't take a crossing penalty, because we're reinforcing a battle which would already be taking place. And he's realized that he will not win that, so he's moving away to deal with the Sorbians. Most likely. He might just be moving away to be an idiot. This woman wishes to kill Count Okatar of Znojmo. Who is Count Okatar of Znojmo? This fellow, who actually likes us a fair amount. You can stop that. Bad nobles. Stop trying to kill each other. That reminds me, I have to do a whole noble lineage thing for my next Deathwatch game. I'm probably just going to start up a game of Crusader Kings on my laptop and just be all like, yeah, I'll just copy a dynasty out and we'll be done. But, you know, we'll see what comes up with it. Anyway, our princess here needs an education. I'm thinking intrigue. Could always use some intriguers. My nephew. That will also increase his opinion of me, which is good. Yeah, he's going up to absolutely destroy the Sorbian army, which he should. It's probably the greater threat to him right now. And one he can actually take out. Or attempt to take out, you never know. He's losing a lot of men. Some people died, a cardinal got replaced, whatever. Wow, this battle seems to be a lot closer than I'd expected. I mean, I'm pretty sure the Sorbian will still lose, and he appears to be, yeah, he appears to be losing. Now, though, they've both got one fleeing flank, so... no, there we go, he's lost. That's fair enough, he should have lost. But the Polish guy probably shouldn't have lost 1,000 guys in killing him, you know. What is going on down here? Bizarre. I'm surprised that the bunch of kings haven't quite gotten there yet. Everybody is voting for my child in both of the elective monarchies, and he's automatically going to be king of Bohemia? Yes, Bohemia. I keep getting Bohemia and Bavaria mixed up. And we may actually change the law of Bohemia to be an elective monarchy. We can do that, assuming that we're at peace. There we go, we just occupied Poitiers, so that war will finish very quickly. As it should. It shouldn't have even needed allies. It's just, you know, I don't even know why. The Corinthian is throwing his vote around. I had to break up a fight between my nephew Almeric and another child today. Almeric's heart is filled with envy. We do not want him to be envious, because that means he will get an opinion penalty against his liege. We're probably going to be his liege. So let's talk to him about kindness. We could pray for him, but that's not going to do anything. So we've got the 50-40-10 split, and he might get kindness. And indeed he has. So he is a very good individual. He's brave, he's gregarious, he's a little rough, but he's kind. That's good. That's a good combination. Yep, that war in Poitiers is down, it's over, it's done with. We don't have to worry about it. We do have 2 weak claims that we could press, but they're against the King of Lotharingia and the King of West Francia, so I'm not particularly concerned about that. Also, if we attack the Lotharingian, we're going to be attacking him for the de jure claims on Istria, Crane, or Canten. Not for some shitty little province that somebody has a weak claim on. Hang on, Silesia, Mecklenburg, and Bohemia. Bohemia and Moravia, right, okay, where's Silesia is there and Mecklenburg is there. Okay, I was hoping that Moravia wasn't actually a duchy, but it is, and it's owned by this guy. That's alright, because if we do turn Bohemia into an elective monarchy, there will be 2 votes going around, one from the Duke. I tried to say duchy and duke at the same time, it didn't work out. And Almeric is just calling ladies fat again. Do we want him to be honest? Minus intrigue plus diplomacy? Yeah, that'd be good. Yep. Anyway, there will be 1 vote down here in the Duchy of Moravia and 1 vote for me being king, which means that I will always be choosing the successor until somebody gets enough land to form the Duchy of Bohemia themselves, which is something I would prefer not to happen, obviously. This might be a long war, just because Poland is quite large, in much the same way that lady was who told us that our son had called her fat. I don't want to go and take on this army. I will if I have to, but I'd prefer not to. So after we take this place, we're going to kind of head up to, what, Calais or something? Ugh, we're getting called into a defensive war. You can tell it's defensive because it would cost us 100 prestige to decline. And it would be against Borkvard of Borkvard's host. Yes, Borkvard has decided that he wants Flanders. Right, so he's trying to take this entire duchy here. Over West Francian parts of it. Yes, I accept. I'm not going to help. Why would I? If Borkvard wins, he weakens the Karlings. Oh, this place actually has 4 holdings. I didn't notice that. Fortunately, this last one is a barony, which is good for us because we're going to... Actually, that's really good for us, because we'll be able to keep 2 of those holdings, which will put us up to our defense limit. When our heir becomes of age, we'll give him the barony. Or we give him the county and hold off giving out the barony until Lothar becomes of age, which should be 2 years later? Yes. We're not going to hold on to it for too long because Ludolf will resent us for holding it. And kind of, the only annoyance there is that Lothar is a bit slow. Okay, this is our diplomacy increasing thing. If we play this right, we could get 2 points. If we fuck it up, we could get 1. So, there are 2 peasant families in Oberbayern who have been locked in a bitter feud for generations. This conflict has now escalated to the point where it is even discussed in circles of nobility. That's quite odd. Although this feud would normally be far beneath your notice, this could be a golden opportunity to practice your diplomacy. I will put an end to this squabble. And that started the event chain, which we will see shortly. This is not part of the event chain, though. This is just a child-raising message with Ludolf, our heir. The kitchen is truly a wonderful place, filled with delicious things and smells, but it worries me that Ludolf spends all his time here when he should be practicing sword fighting and learning how to rule. Force him to learn how to fight. 80% chance of brave, 10% chance of gluttonous, which is not great, and a 10% chance of craven, which is even worse. Or not my concern, which is 80% gluttonous, 20% he's going to lose a martial point. He has gained the brave trait. Exceptional. So he's ambitious, he's charitable, he's honest, he's a lusty little 13-year-old. Show me one who isn't, I guess. And brave. Wonderful. Wonderful. Alright, you have invited the two feuding families to a local inn, hoping to reach some kind of agreement. The peasants are seated at two opposing tables on either side of your position, in the middle. Some have brought pitchforks, one clutches a live chicken, and all of them look moderately inbred. We really can't talk about that, I mean, seriously. We're not, but some of our relatives are. This could be a challenge, so we can appeal to their sense of reason, or flatter them. Let's flatter them. My friends, you say with as warm a smile as you can muster. I think I know why... I think you know why I have called your great families here. As you suffer from this tragic conflict, the entire realm suffers with you. Mention their patriotic duty or soothe their tempers. We're going to mention their patriotic duty. You continue in a harsher voice. But at the same time, you have a duty and a responsibility to the crown. You fight each other on the street and we look away. You ruin entire harvests for each other and we look away. Not again. The line must be drawn here. This far. No further. The peasants shout you down. So we failed that. You barely have time to dodge the chicken someone hurls your way. With a howl, the two families leap over their tables and throw themselves at each other with you caught in the middle. Clothes torn and covered in bruises, you eventually manage to crawl out of the inn as the fighting continues inside. I did my best. +1 diplomacy. I'm not sure if it's set on which of those options is always the best one to take, or if it's just a random thing. Either way, it's kind of funny. But if you do succeed at that event, like marriage proposals happen between the family on the spot. Duke of Austria is dead, so new Duke of Austria is Duke Hermann. He's not a very good duke because he's ambitious. But he does have a fairly negative amount of prestige. He's also fairly old, so I'm fine with that. The Austrians are kind of ambitious though. The Wilhelmidans. And he favours my son as, heir and all that sort of business, which is good. Otherwise we might have to have some words. This Hungarian revolt looks like it's actually getting up. So I think after Poland we might come down here and smash some Hungarian heads in a bit. Just to get something from the revolt before it goes away. And normally I wouldn't suggest doing that, but the revolt, which is led by Vasil, so Vasil is who we would be... Vasil Kristofia Shonahivka is who we would be declaring war on. But if he wins the war, he doesn't become king. Frigyes becomes king, whoever Frigyes is. I don't know. I could find out, but I don't really care. As long as it's not him, because then we would be able to declare war on the King of Hungary at that point, because we wouldn't have a truce with him, would we? So if we wanted to be really power gamey about the entire situation, Holy War for Pex, Holy War for Esztergom. Take them both, because we could do that. Declare a Holy War on the Hungarian for Pex, Holy War on the rebels for this portion of Esztergom, and then when Hungary becomes united again, we'd do a Holy War for Nitra. And then at some stage we'd just de jure Esztergom because we'd have 2 of the 3 counties. And that probably wouldn't give us a majority of the place. Let's see, Thames is 2, Transylvania is 3 for 5, Pest is another 3 for 8, Unavara is 3 for 13. So 13 on one side, Nitra has 4, Esztergom has 3, Pex has 4, so that's, 13 and 11. But that would mean that we just have to declare a little war on Thames down there eventually, and we'd be able to take Hungary. And as mentioned last episode, that's as far east as we want to go. Steward got us some money. Great. We should buy something. We're not going to buy jousting lists. We can't afford them. Let's upgrade the keep in Andex. Done. We get so many troops out of Oberbayern, it's ridiculous. I mean, I love it, but it is a little ridiculous. Okay, my liege, during my stay in Oberbayern, I have found a great philosopher who has agreed to help me with my studies to enhance culture in the province. With your permission, I would suggest that we employ him. Of course! We gain 50 culture tech and lose 73 gold, so we would go into debt. Or, no, that's outrageously expensive, which is nothing happens. We don't need culture tech. We really do not need culture tech, so no, that's outrageously expensive, because going into debt is a bad thing for countries in this time period. Modern countries can go into debt all they like. I mean, as long as they can service it, it's fine. That's the entire point of modern debt. Anyway, we're going to increase majesty. Done. So now we get a little bit more prestige and piety every month. Yeah, so after we're done with this siege, we're going to head up to Poznan because it's kind of weak. Because he just took it back in a siege, didn't he? Yup, there we go. All good. So now we should have a ticking war score, and we do. He's not going to refuse. Poznan may not be such a good option because the Sorbian is just going to retake the damn place. We had 4 guys from Sorbs hanging out by our siege, by the way. They were helping. Alright. Let's go to... Well, look, we'll march at Poznan and just see how it goes. And if it doesn't go all that well, like if this guy takes over the siege, and if we get there and we don't take it over, which could happen, we'll just see what happens. Part of this game is seeing what happens and dealing with the consequences. Okay, so on the 17th we'll be able to see what the deal is. There we go. Okay, so... yeah, you can see here, if the siege is won, the controller of Poznan will be the tribe of Sorbs. Don't care. I'm not here to help them out. So we'll head down to Kalisz. Or we could head all the way down to Saxine. Sax, actually. Where have I gotten Saxine from? Maybe that, I don't know. Whatever. But we'll at least head down to Krakow, because Krakow is where the king has raised troops from. But it is also under siege from this guy. And it does have a major river crossing, so we'll actually come down to Teschen and then move into Sax. We might have to engage this guy's army. If we do, I'm fine with that. It'll just end our war a lot faster. King of Skane joined in. Skane's a bit bigger than it used to be. They've taken this southern tip of Sweden, I think that's supposed to be. Yeah, Sweden/Denmark. It's alright. They're not very good at helping. And Poland actually owns this land over here somehow. Interesting. Alright. And into Saxine. Sax! Where am I getting Saxine from? Is Saxine an actual place? Let's check that. No. Apparently not. Maybe it's something in Europa? I don't know. I'm just saying words now. Into Sax. And we should pretty easily defeat that army in there. It's not a big deal. And what we're actually going to do, we're not going to give up Bohemia to anybody. We're probably going to give up some of Saxony or something like that. Maybe. I don't know. No, we're not going to give up Saxony. We're holding on to Saxony. It's a heritage thing. But the next duchy that we want to take should be somewhere in Bavaria itself. Like to replace Saxony with. Also, I'm pretty sure this one has pretty bad tech. Yeah, not great, not great. We want to hold the most advanced stuff in our realm. It's important. Alright, how's the battle going? Yeah, we slightly outmatch them in overall military ability, and we significantly outmatch them on both of the flanks. The center column is a little bit of a worry, but we should collapse the right flank in time to help out. Come on. Stop chasing them and engage. There we go. Oh, the center column's a little bit of a... Yeah, okay, so our center column has fled, but that's alright, because now it's... Yeah, we've won. We won it. Good. 21% war score, 25 prestige, 12 piety. Genius. And we captured this guy, who is nobody important and not that good at military stuff either, so we're going to ransom him to himself for 25 gold. We're not going to chase these guys down, because if we do, this guy could come down, get down here and just start the siege up, and then we wouldn't get it. So yeah, we just sit on this place for a little bit. Oh, but we've just gotten a peace offer. He surrenders, which means we will get Praha and 100 prestige. Done. Now we have a bunch of his succession bullshit happening, which we kind of expected was going to happen. I became a count of various places. Okay, yeah, so we now own both of these, which is fine. It means our dement size is fine. But... this might fuck with things. We're going to have to change our succession laws in Bohemia as soon as possible. Because I don't think that we can give any of those titles... Yeah, we can't actually give any of those titles to our children. Or to our primary heir, because that would be trying to subvert the Gavelkind thing. But if we turn it into an elective monarchy, well, we no longer have to deal with Gavelkind. So, wow, we're kind of waiting on Borkvard here to actually win, because he has a far superior army. We could chase him off, but, well, you all know how I feel about the Karlings. Princess Ida here, our daughter, has become of legal age. She's not terrible. She's not great, but she's not terrible. Let's move our troops over into Brno, and from there we're going to try and take these two provinces. Alright, our Chancellor is buttering up King Louis the Great, and he's done a very good job of that. Very interesting. Is he in a war right now? I think he's in a internal war, yeah. He's defending against the Lotharingian revolt in the civil war to lower crown authority, and he's kind of winning. It's only these places here really backed him up. It's alright. It's not a big deal. But yeah, so this is how bad an invasion can get. I mean, the West Francian can't reach this number of troops. So all he's really doing is holding out. Though they also appear just to be looting places, so that's kind of strange. Whether that was because of the Vikings coming down and looting them earlier. We have a marriage offer between this guy and my lovely daughter. Now, my daughter shouldn't be getting any of these claims or anything like that. It would bind us to the Karlings again. He won't go for a matrilineal marriage, I know that. I mean, look at this. Tick. Nope, he's too high in the line of succession. Yeah, it's kind of a little oddity. I'm not sure whether to accept this or not. You know, I think I will because it will further bolster my alliance with King Charles here, which is already pretty damn good. And she's only my second daughter. She's not that good, so yeah, sure, whatever. Fine with that. Would have preferred it to be matrilineal because, well, fuck the Karlings. But, you know, it's alright. It's alright. Count of Anhalt died, so this guy inherited it. Alright, no worries. He's non-matrilineally married to our niece. So, normally married, that would be. It's alright. Don't care. Well, let's celebrate his newfound leadership by putting him in control of an army. And it's now going to be the army of Humbert. Humbert. We need to get onto this revolution. So even though our retinue is still trying to reinforce, and we've got decent supply limits in this place as well, so that's good for us. Right, let's do this. He does have allies, but he can't really call any of them into war. He may be able to call this guy in, but he's not all that important anyway. So, it's wartime for... I think I wanted to say Esztergom? Yes, Esztergom. Done. Yeah, now you can see we're hostile with Hungary as well. It's fine. Just move into Pozinoy, take it, take the next one, be done with it. And we could quite easily call the West Francian king in. He's got more than enough that it wouldn't even lower us below 100%. But I don't want to. He's busy with stuff, actually. Yeah, we'll call him in. Because I want to kind of distract him from that war if I can. I'll get a response fairly shortly. And let's just raise up all of our levies and send them down. Just to get this fight over and done with. Because again, I don't know how many guys the rebels have. We'll probably see, because I think they're besieging Fégère down here. There's only one faction, and it's this annoying guy. He likes us a little bit now. He still will not convert religions, though. Shame. Okay, yeah, so they've got about 3,500 men. Yes, he will answer his obligation to war. We have about 3,500 men. So, when our armies get here, well, we're more than capable of taking this guy down. Assuming, of course, that that's the only army that he has. Almeric has formed a faction. It's fine, everybody needs to get there, you know. Feet wet, sort of thing. Like, oh, I'm gonna form a faction. Okay. Cool story, bro. Cool story. Construction is coming along fine as it is. I don't have to worry about it. I don't care about church infrastructure that much. It's the improved keeps into castle infrastructure that we're looking at. If Loidolf is nowhere to be seen, you can always find him in the courtyard, playing with his swords and practicing his sword fighting with older men, no homo. This will turn Loidolf into a great knight. He gets 1 point of martial, 60% chance of being diligent, amazing, or a 40% chance of becoming proud. Not bad. Make sure he doesn't hurt himself. This is the option we never pick. 5 prestige, he loses, or I lose. 80% chance he becomes craven. 20% chance he's proud. That one. He is brave. Well, that wasn't right. That wasn't the one he was supposed to get. He was supposed to get diligent, which he also got. Oh, that's good. That's good. Our heir is doing really well. We may not even be able to have ambitions with him if he gets up in some of his other stats. These guys can just move in and I will stop leading the damned army. Okay, we've had an Austrian revolt. Siegmund of the Austrian Revolt has declared Austrian revolt for Adolf's claim on Austria on Duke Hermann of Austria. I know it's a common name and everything, but seriously? Come on, guys. I don't like how these armies are just kind of sitting there staring at each other. It's weird. Fight! Fight! We've just had a large number of the famished defenders of Pressburg die, which is a bit odd considering, well, we only just started besieging them. So this little revolution down here, or revolt, is part of a faction thing that was happening in Austria. It's fine. Almeric Lodolfinger, our nephew, is now of legal age. He is a skilled tactician, and damn straight he is. 19? That's exceptional. We'll probably get him to lead our army once we've finished this siege and can move on. Because it's too far progressed at this stage to put a new ruler in. It's going to be fine anyway. There's a small army from Pest. Not overly concerned. If we were just losing, say, the county and baronies here in this title loss, it wouldn't be a big issue. But because we would also lose the Kingdom of Bohemia, the Kingdom of Bohemia would become its own separate nation yet again. Admittedly ruled by a Lodolfinger, so ruled properly, but it would be a separate nation, and we can't have that. Yet. I've yet to decide whether I'm going to spread my dynasty across the map in separate countries, or spread my country across the map. The latter is usually referred to mockingly by the more hardcore crowd, in that, you know, it's painting the map your colour, and, you know, they don't like it because, well, a lot of them have stopped having fun, guys, and I'm sorry if that's, you know, the way that you feel about things, but, well, that's what it is. You can't tell somebody how to play a game. I mean, this game has such a massive amount of scope. This guy is now the Prince Bishop of Bremen and Hamburg, I think. Yep. I mean, this game has such a huge amount of possibilities, so you can't possibly tell somebody a way to play it. Like this... Okay, we've just ended that Holy War for Esztergom because, well, the rebellion ended. And now this guy is in control. So, just move our troops back to Znojmo, put down the levies, and then we're going to declare a Holy War. Probably on Nitra, because it's the bigger one. Either Nitra or Pex. I'm thinking Nitra. Nitra is 4, Pex is 4. Let's actually have a little look. So, almost 600, almost 500, almost over 600, just 400. Okay, so that's what, about 2,000 guys? 2 people eloped and got married without anyone's consent except their own, and it falls to me as their liege to either accept marriage or do something about it. Data has married Conegard von Trebeck. So we could accept their marriage and lose 10 prestige, or we could order them siege, order them seized, which has a 75% chance of catching and imprisoning them, or a 25% chance of catching them and banishing them. If we banish them, we get 20 gold. And you know what? They're both good German Catholics. They might both be lowborn, but you know, whatever. Well, one is a von Trebeck, which is as good as lowborn, I guess. I accept their marriage. Good on them. Okay, so Pex or Nitra? Okay, let's see. 600. 500 makes 1100. Plus another 700, so that's 1800. and another 4. So there's about 2,200 troops in Pex. Trenton has 900. Yeah, okay, so Nitra is where we're going to go because it is just above and beyond superior. So, our army has moved out. We take down the levies and we move. Well, first of all, we put Almeric in charge of the main column there. Let's just check on our retinues real quick. Yeah, we could get another skirmish retinue, but as discussed in previous episodes, we want another shock retinue. What is that thing? Oh, that was just his little... It looked odd. It looked like an icon of some kind. So, King Arpad the Fat. Are you allied with anybody? The King of Konagata, and he will probably join in. Yes, he will join in, but we can take him. We can take these fellows. That's what she said. And so we're going to declare war for Nitra. 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 Done. And we can call in allies. We will. And gather up our personal troops. You'll notice that in every single war that I have fought since, I don't know, maybe the 13th episode or something, I have not used a single vassal levy. That is really handy in keeping them all on hand. But if I did need 6,000 troops in a hurry, well, I know where I could get them. Okay, so we're just going to gather up all of our troops in Brno, though as soon as the retinue gets there, we're going to send them into Trenton. 1, to catch this part of the army, and 2, to start the siege. And everybody else should be moving there. Thank you. Wonderful. We're probably going to have to end this episode before... There we go, we called in the King of Konagata, King Dire of the Lionheart. It's alright. We called in West Francian, who probably won't help us out too much, although he's actually managed to attack somebody for once. Oh, good on you. A little bit edgy on who I actually want to win that. I'm pretty sure Borkvold is Norse. Yeah. He's also possessed. That's wonderful. Good work, bro. Anyway, let's just keep a little bit of an eye down here on the Hungarian situation. Zoom out a bit so I can see this battle. Yeah, the West Francian has won it. The King of Poland has joined in the war. I wonder if that's wiped our truce with him. Nope, has not. But Poland, you know, what are you going to do? Nothing, really. Poland is useless, I think. Yeah, so Borkvold's going to lose this battle here. He just lost a huge amount of troops. But so did the West Francian. I'm a little of two minds about the outcome of that, simply because we're allies with the West Francian, even though he is one of the Karlings. We're allies with him, and fairly good allies. Despite the, you know, fact that he's a shitty Karling. Anyway, yeah, I have not doubts, but my prediction is that this war will take some time to finish just because of the size of Hungary, and the sieges are against fairly well stocked up places. I mean, this place has 1,500 men. We outnumber them by several times, but not enough to force a decision. It also has a really good fort level. Look at that, fort level of 5. The really fortunate thing is even... Well, it is Catholic, the province. The province is Catholic, so we are liberating our brethren. But even the Tengri provinces in Hungary have pretty decent supply limits for us. Now, one thing we want to avoid is letting the Polish guys and the Konegatans join forces with the Hungarians. At the moment, they're not really moving anywhere, which is fine. And we're in mountains here, so after we finish taking Trenson, we're going to move across to Ava and try and take it down. And that's because attacking into mountains is a terrible idea. So Trenson, Ava, then Gamor, which is hills, and then finally Nitra itself. And let's remember to unpause the game. And hopefully we have this war done before the King of West Francia calls us into anything else ridiculous, so that when we finish this war we can make Bohemia an elective monarchy. Because that's important. That stops us having this weird succession gavel kind bullshit which pisses me off so much. We aren't plotting to murder anybody. Should we be plotting to murder someone? Well, that's a day-to-day question. Let's have a look at the East Francian. How you doing, buddy? Still unkillable. Wonderful. Yep, our marshal has been wounded because the thick-headed peasants of Oberbayern dropped a boulder on his foot. So we're going to stop. That's because he's researching military tech. You see, it's got a 2.07% chance of a military drill accident. He's a pretty tough guy, but he's also stressed out, so... You know, he gets plus 0.5 health from being tough, from being a brilliant strategist. He gets -1 from being stressed and -1 from being wounded. I don't particularly want him to die at this stage, so I'm going to put him somewhere where there's no danger. So we're going to get him to train troops in Oberbayern, which, yes, it reduces our technology gain, or our technology chances, but it's the safe thing to do. And he'll probably recover from being wounded at some point. We won't know because we're not really monitoring him, but, you know, he'll get better. Alternatively, we could appoint like a new marshal like Almeric or something like that, but Almeric is leading our troops. So, not particularly. And getting the Duke out would give him an opinion malice against us. Probably not enough to matter, but, you know, when you fire somebody, they don't like you. And that's the way the world goes. Yeah, so we've still got about 10 minutes, so we're just going to see how far... Oh, excuse me. A little bit of, not reflux, but just a bit of semi-burp happening there. Apologies if that came through. But yeah, we're just going to see how far we can progress this war in the meantime. Maria wants to kill the Chiefess Sif of Lower Cilicia. Well, she is Norse. She doesn't have any titles. I don't know why this guy married her. I'm fine with that, actually. I wouldn't mind getting in on that if she'd let me. And that's... yeah, whatever. A lot of these things just aren't happening. It's unimportant. They're just plots going on in the background. We can take advantage of them if we so wish. Why would you capture my dear cousin? Stint in prison would be good for her. I really would like Lotharingia to split. Let's actually have a look at that. So Lotharingia itself is Gavelkind. Italy is Gavelkind. And Burgundy is Gavelkind. However, he only has one son. If he had a second son, it would split the kingdoms. And that would be great, but he only has one son. Fortunately, wow, he picked a great bride. This is the opposite of the imbecile trait. Genius. It's amazing. He's kind of not in a very good way because he's maimed, which means he's missing a limb or something. Then we can't really off him. Can we off his son? We could quite easily off his son. That's going to be our plot. And what we're hoping there is that it will get split among his brothers or something like that instead of his son. But the other optimal sort of thing there would have been if he had a second son, or a third son even, because that would just split the kingdoms all over the place and it would be great for us. Because Lotharingia is a target for us because of Italy. Yeah, look at this plot power. Nobody likes this kid. He's only a year old too. The keep has been built in Andax. Wonderful. Okay, these guys are moving to Krakow and then to Kalisz, so they've got another war going on with someone, I think. Yeah. My co-conspirator, Duke Bernard, has managed to get to one of the maids near Prince Hugh's. For a princely sum, get it, she has agreed to solve our little problem for us. Fabulous. Siege is coming along nicely. We'll get it very shortly. Yeah, we're definitely not going to be able to finish this war before the end of the episode, but, you know, that's just how it goes. Oh, when I said the siege was almost done, they then smuggled in supplies. So, 24 more days. This person died in my dungeons. Okay. So, let's hope that little assassination plot goes nicely. No? Failure! Prince Hughes frightened off the maid with his wailing, but at least she made a clean escape and no one suspects my involvement. We will just have to try again. And... siege. Well, it looks like the... yes, it looks like the Austrians... well, the Austrian revolt won, so now Duke Adolf Wilhelmiden is the Duke. Huh. I have a plot. Ulrich! How would you like to be married to Euphemia? He's only 10. You know what? We don't actually know what her stats are. Let's have a look. Well, she's attractive, so that's a good start. She's chaste. That's not really great. You know what? Nope, for king and country. For king and country. Arrange for betrothal of Euphemia and... how old was she? 14? Yes, Euphemia and Luther. Much better. Not matrilineal. Now what we do, and this is probably going to get us a little bit of a problem if we keep on getting found out. After we finish murdering this kid, we're going to murder this kid. Because that will make Euphemia here Duke of Duchess of Austria. And because it's a normal normal proposal, when it comes through, we just found this girl. That's fine. Let's keep her on hand. It's fine. And yeah, the Duke of Austria lost that war. Fine, fine, fine. And we're now besieging the city of Zelina. Are you going to accept the betrothal, kid? Come on. Why aren't you accepting this betrothal? I swear to God. Oh, this guy has to accept it. Yeah, in 2 days. Yes, he has accepted it. And in the meantime, Duchess Ephrosyne here has managed to get a maid near Prince Hugh's. Wonderful. So, now we've got a lovely little normal betrothal here. And we're just going to kind of sit on that for a little bit. The eventual plan will be to assassinate the Duke here. He's probably not all that well liked. He is a very good vassal, because he's content and he doesn't really have any traits which are against us. But, you know, we could own Austria. And that's kind of nice. Owning Austria. Also, his name is Adolf. And he's Austrian. I mean, I know there are a lot of people, not so many nowadays, who are called Adolf from Austria and Germany on that. But, you know, come on. King Ulrich the Great has succeeded with a plot to kill Hughes Karling. Success! Hughes was smothered with a pillow by the maid we had bribed. She wasn't caught, and no one has any reason to place blame on me. This world is too cruel for children. So. So the succession is now going to Kunigun Karling, and then Agnes Babenberger. I don't know who Agnes Babenberger is. It's her daughter. She's 2 years old and an idiot. Where are my sons at? I have a wide variety of sons. Yeah, it's going to be a long-term thing. But Prince Ulrich here, Ulrich should be good with this. Wow, both twins are deceitful. Really? Wonderful. But it's going to have to be one of the twins because she's only 2 years old. So these guys will be 24 when that goes on. Yeah, Ulrich is the lesser. And yes, that's all good. And we would get an alliance with the Count of Thuringia. Now, why we've done that is because we're going to kill Kunigun Karling. And every child that this guy has, we're going to try and murder. We probably won't be able to kill... No, we can. We can and we will. The Austrian plan can go on hold for a bit. Murder time. But we're drawing really close to the end of the thing. Yep, there's our betrothal. That's good. Murder time. Come on, get your kill on. She's not even a kid anymore, so she's valid. This could give us East France here if we're lucky. I know I said that about the Byzantine thing, but, whatever. The Byzantine thing is gone and past. Yep, we won the conquest of Flanders, or the defense of the conquest of Flanders. Fine. I haven't seen any armies coming at me from Poland, Konigata, or Hungary. So that's kind of a good thing, I guess. Yep, plot's good. Excellent. Yeah, let's call it there, though. It's getting a bit close to the time to, continue on with any of this exceptional siege work or plotting. So, if you have any questions about what I'm doing, particularly involving, East Francia, or... What was the other thing I was doing? Oh, Austria. Got to keep track of this stuff. With Austria or East Francia, if you're confused about how I'm going about things there, or what my actual aims are, I'd be happy to explain them, so just ask. It may be a few episodes before I get to that, because I am working on a bit of a backlog at this stage. Or I may respond in text, who knows. We'll see. So yeah, if you've got any of those questions, ask away. Have any comments, feel free to leave them under the video. Like it if you liked it. And, well, the subscribe button's down there if you'd like to see more of this sort of thing. So, with that in mind, I've been Sub. You've been yourselves. Later.